Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Renaissance, you say? What does that have to do with a video titled Cultivating Creativity with planting and seeds and beauty? Well, I heard a quote, and I do like quotes, and I'm probably going to do them more in my channel. And it said that sometimes wonder and discovery can get lost when treading the same ground over and over. And being an author and a writer and even doing the thrifting and eBay stuff, there's a lot of routine. There's a lot of stuff that's done repetitively. I'm sure you find that repetition in your creative acts, the things that you're trying to get better at. But sometimes we have to have a renaissance inside those routine things. And so what did I do? Of course, being the words person that I am, I looked them up, the definition of renaissance. It means renewed interest, growth, revival of something dormant, rediscovery, reinterpretation, flourishing art. I like that. Let's flourish in our art. Let's have thinking discoveries and ideas and exploration, and sometimes even a pivot. They are talking about art and culture and learning when they use the word Renaissance. That's why it defined an era of history. So for me, for now, in this video, starting with gardening and some art and some other things, let's do beautiful things. And I've kind of got this weird thing going on, like, why would anybody sign up for more things to do when you're already busy? I'm a published novelist. I write historical Christian fiction. I sell on eBay, so I go thrifting and I pick and resell from stuff like that. And in the niche of eBay, I do collectible costume jewelry. I like to do art. Some of my art's, like this is my space for some of that. And paint and stuff, but mostly all of it comes together for the purpose of cultivating creativity, which brings me joy. I am very inspired by wonder, and sometimes you have to hang out with seeds to do that. So I started out as a garden channel. I will be doing gardens. I have a goal this year with some cut flowers. I have little tiny things I do every year, like continuous bouquets on my kitchen table, like as many as I can get all year long without paying for them. It's kind of my thing. And I need to plant and grow some more cut flowers. So I'm gonna look for some seeds here and get my seeds started. And I actually want to do some micro gardening. I like to do sunflower seeds. I like to harvest them when the sunflower plant is like this big and eat them in a salad. It tastes just like the sunflower seeds do, and it's just really good. And I want to plant some peas the same way, pea greens, and so I'll get those started along with a few flowers. I definitely have to get bell peppers or peppers and tomatoes. It's the right time of year. Can you believe it? Gardening, first day of gardening 2026. But my focus on my channel had to grow with me a little bit because I did all gardening and I found that it just kind of was one chore to the next. Like that's kind of how you were doing it. And then I was already the work of doing the videoing and all that. I love the conversations. I love the interactions. I still have friends with some of you guys. It's actually pretty cool that way. And so I just feel like at 50 years old, empty nesting, I have a little bit more capacity to see where this takes me and help me understand myself as I figure out what I'm really wanting to spend my time doing as an empty nester, 50-year-old. I do think creativity and the artistic niche is usually, as even in my writing world, I find that if people are into it once in one area, they're kind of across the board. So if you're an across the board person and you're finding me, I hope that you'll take the journey with me and share your joys with me, because that's kind of what YouTube is about. That's actually kind of what I'm looking for on there. So I have definitely started painting and drawing and doing all that kind of stuff, you know, getting different, I'll do some, when I ever get some of these things done, I'll probably do some tours, but I'm kind of like a new art journaler, and it's not good. I mean, it's not great, but it's got a beginning. There's some bones in it. And that's the way the gardening and all that stuff is too. Like I've been master gardener for a long time. Been doing it I learned under my mom, who was a master gardener. So she was the master gardener, I guess. But yeah, so it's time to do the beautiful things and to see that they're beautiful. And today it starts with seeds. So, you know, I sometimes wondered if we should do a piece of art that's nothing but seed shapes and the intrinsic power that's in a seed, it kind of feels like what we got going on right now. Like it's just a seed, time for seeds. Like let's get the seeds out. And there are different shapes, different size, everything inside of them for its entire purpose and success is contained. These are one of my favorites, the sweet peas that you don't eat. They're just flowers. But inside these little bitty guys is the entire flower, multiple of them. And it's kind of amazing. And I guess I kind of correlate that to my creative journey. My art is that everything is inside of me already, and it's almost a sense of me discovering it, like unearthing it, digging in the dirt, getting down where the roots are to figure out how it comes out. And you know, I've been doing the writing thing for a long time, and in the process of doing that, they have a language. You learn to find your voice and the thing that's essentially you amongst thousands of other people, hundreds of thousands of other people who are doing the same thing. And you can find it, like there's something there. And so I've definitely got a lot of little layers that I do to cultivate that. I thought I would share it with you guys. And then hopefully when you guys have ideas of things that you do that cultivate it, it would be the same. So what will I end up doing? Probably a little journaling, probably a little art journaling, probably talk about pens and paints, seeds, cut flowers, showing bouquets. I have a beautiful garden, which has been established on this channel, but it's changed quite a bit in the last couple years since I've been on. And I don't know, I'm kind of excited. There's just so much coming. And I'm making these videos at the beginning here, kind of re-saying the same thing, that basically I'm coming back. I'm trying a different approach. I hope you like it. I'm definitely going to try to hit into a little bit bigger niche, not just the gardening, but the arts and the creative niche, but really just to see, feed the engine. I think that, you know, doing too much, everybody's like, you gotta, you know, don't diversify too much, get in a lane and kind of stick there. But I kind of figured out that, like, if I only do my book writing, then I get burned out and I can't keep it going. I can't stay creative. I pretty much will do anything in my house, cleaning and organized, and I don't want to do that in order to keep myself out of the chair from doing the project that I want to do. And so that's where the eBay comes in. I can barter with myself. You can do this craft that takes super excellence and a lot of time and a lot of diligence, and then go play with the thrifting and the picking. And even in the thrifting and picking, I think that sometimes, like clothing and jewelry and different pieces, they have an art to them. I mean, there's a lion, patinaed lion in there, a copper patinaed lion. Like, that's pretty cool. And over there, I just got some Waterford crystal. That's like, when you hold them, you can feel the quality and the art. And somehow that makes me want to do the other stuff, to do the painting and do the, making them the bouquets. I did get to make bouquets for my daughter's bridal shower and some different things, like the big elaborate ones where they hang off the post and they're going in every which way. And most of them were from my garden. It's just like, yeah. So here I am. And I better get going on this. So I'm going to start doing this, and I'm just going to plant a few things. This is my little green system. This rose is about, I don't know if it's going to pull through. Somebody gave it to me as a gift in the wintertime, so I'm trying to weather it until I can plant it outside. I don't know if it's going to make it. And, you know, that's one of those things they never really talk about on the garden channels, is what plants, like the top 10 plants you kill. Like, everybody should have a good orchid on there and some sedums on there and, you know, good crop of veggies on there. But anyway, so I will be filling this in. This is, I like the light. I don't have very good lighting up in my office, so I let this come on as a timer. It's like sunshine to me all year long. But this is my flower seeds, and these are my veg seeds, and these are seeds that I have saved myself. So I'm just gonna kind of pilfer through here and start to have seedling birthdays, which, if there's nothing that makes you just feel the delight of living, which is what I'm kind of trying to catch, being alive to living, then a happy birthday to baby seedlings, right? So we should get that in the next little bit. If I don't kill them. These are straight from the grocery store. Green peas, best price you'll ever get on a pack of seeds. And my secret is that I don't plant I always make sure that I have something to catch the water, so that if it's like this, there's no hole poked in the bottom. But if it's like one of these guys, I put it in one that has no holes in the bottom, because I forget to water. So if I have a little bit of standing water at the bottom, then it gives me a little bit more time, and I need that time. And more than likely, I dry things out. I don't drown them, and I'm not flooding them when I do water them. So it's a little bit of both. Helps me, but that's tip of the day. So these definitely look too close together, but I'm eating these. These are microgreens, and so when they grow up, I will cut the top inch or so off, leaving like an inch, and let it grow in again a couple of times. And I put them in my salads for flavor, and the nutrition of different plants is different. And because part of my cultivating joy, I'm trying to remind myself of what I'm really on here for. One of the things I do is try to beat the winter blues. I live in Oregon, so we get beautiful green and lush rainforest-esque spring and summer. But when it's the off season, it's very gloomy. It's very overcast. We've actually had a pretty gracious year this year as far as being able to see the sunshine. But eating fresh greens and that I've grown under a grow light in the off season often helps me make it to the sunny days. And so that's what I'm doing. Another cheat for me, it's all about fitting more things in. So I'm definitely a back to Eden gardener. And I kind of think that philosophy of feeding the soil is what I do as a creative. It's what I do to cultivate the desire to do art over and over again without feeling burnt out and dry. Is that you're feeding the soil, and having my hands in the soil, dirt on the hands, is definitely food for that. Like, I don't have gloves on because I want to feel the dirt. I want to feel the dirt. And but another cheat is that I don't put things in tiny seedling trays and then have to seed them up. I mean, if I want to plant, like I'm going to plant some tomatoes in here, I'm going to plant them way too close, and then they'll be scraggly and awkward by the time I get them to my big garden, but they take off just the same. They do the same as my other stuff. So I don't really want to prick them out and do all of that. So tomatoes it is. That's what we're doing. Tomatoes and peppers. And I separate out a couple things that might go in my early garden. But yeah, so my seeds are old. I've had them for a long time. So I'm going to plant heavier than normal and be okay with that. I actually probably need to buy seeds, because I remember last year my goal was to actually go through my seeds by getting them into the dirt. And I did that. So I don't actually know, when you get an empty pack, you kind of know what you have to get. But when you use your packs, yeah, so systems, I guess. People talk about systems all the time, but pretty much as soon as something gets organized and super structured, I'm like, I'm done. This is boring. It's repetitious. I need out. So we definitely want to figure out what makes me glue myself together. Large red cherries, tomatoes. These seeds are from the dollar store, which they work. I've done them for a long time. The one thing, they're super cheap, so you can get a variety, but they don't have nearly as many seeds in them as the bigger packs do. But a lot of times at the end of season, they'll go on sale for like cheap, like 25 and 50 cents a piece. And I am planting these too thick, and I will prick them out because these are older. I've had them for a couple years already, so definitely gotta do that. But both of these are the same. I do like a cherry tomato. I do a lot with the cherry tomatoes, and I have grandbabies that like them some cherry tomatoes. So the smaller size is the ones I actually kind of do the most of. So there we go. Planting number 2. Come on, babies. I don't know, do I want this speed down? I think I do. Let's hold this down. There we go. Yeah, I'll fill up my trays. Let's do some sunflowers now. I like to plant these in here thick. If you notice, they're the same as that, way too thick. These are so good. If you've never tried sunflower greens, they're great. And some people are sketched out about the fact that these are made for birds, and so maybe the food grade or whatever is different. But I mean, they're harvesting them out of a field and then drying them and putting them in a bag. So there's just no reason. I mean, if you're going to be speculate plant that comes out of them, it just seems like a far reach to me. But to each their own. But the green in my salad, like that's one of those things to have a day when you come up and you get to smell the smell of sunflowers in a flower, in a green, and then you get to have it on a salad that you made, which I'll have like kale and onion and garlic scape and chard and all that from my garden to go with whatever else I had to purchase. And it's just kind of a beautiful thing. Get some layers in the winter. Oh, that's a little thick. Drop that out just a bit. So, and I really do think that I grow this to see the seed and to watch them come through the soil. I'll be up here every couple of days. I'll be up every few hours during the day to see these things hit their birthday. Which is so delightful. Very fun. Oops, I think I took the tray for this one. Does this fit in here? Okay, so we want to do peppers. Let's get some peppers in this guy. These I've purchased, they're plastic, but I've actually figured out that you can clean them and use them fresh. So I never throw them away. And if they end up in my garden, they don't disintegrate. So it's easy to collect them up again after time. So we got the dollar store on these two, and those ones, I think these ones are from, whatchamacallit? I forgot what their name, Baker Creek. And oh no, that's not the Baker Creek catalog, but sweet pepper, a bell pepper variety, and then like a banana hungry yellow peppers. The long skinny yellow peppers seem to do better. I don't have a ton of sunshine. I have a couple big trees that are blocking my garden, so peppers are a little bit harder. I have to really be smart. I can usually do pretty good with cayenne peppers and jalapeno peppers. And so we'll just get started and see what happens. Get these babies growing. Some people can winter their peppers over, and I think that's neat, but I honestly want a break from my garden at the end. Did anybody hear me say that? Is anybody else glad when the demand of the summer is over and you get to put your garden to bed and actually enjoy a bit of a reprieve? Sometimes I've even been known to do the seed planting so hard in here and get this thing so racked full with so many chores that when I go to plant them out, there's so many to plant out. I'm almost burned out by the time I get done doing that. It's so crazy. So crazy. So again, the ebb and flow. I think that I've had a little bit of a struggle feeling like I'm supposed to follow some rules, some unwritten rules somewhere, and I kind of want to be a rule follower. And then I am also a rebel, and I don't want to do what the rules say. And the rules to me say that you should, garden hard all year and can everything and freeze it up. No, I just grow it and eat it. I'm a potager gardener. I want to be out there and watch the nature and the wildlife and the birds and the bees and all the, you know, a random mushroom that grows up and does whatever, and plants that my mom gave me, all that stuff. I want to watch them, eat what I can when it's fresh. If I feel like saving something, great. If I waste it, is it wasted if you enjoyed it? That was a quote that I heard this week. If you enjoy the time that you waste, is it really wasted? So, yeah. So jalapenos, I will obviously eat and collect those, and I share a lot with my grown kids. My kids are all out and about, married, and well, I have one that's not married, but they're all well into the, I always joke about being in the land of no boats. Like, my kids are my delight and my friends, and they're, you know, close to me and family-wise and all of that, but they are, they're building their own life. It's their turn, and it's wonderful. It's beautiful. So, yeah, there's not very many seeds left in these because I've used these for years and gotten so much growth out of them. Yeah, so we can use that package on this one. Let's do these. Way over planting because I'm expecting about half germination. So, might be more than that. And if it is, I'll share with my daughter-in-law that likes to garden. I have two of them. One of them didn't have a house last year and one did, and now they both have houses. So if I can help them plant when they're in the season with little kids and everything, then more power, right? It's very fun. Okay. See, that's how much is supposed to be in a new pack, and or twice as much as that would be in the new pack. This is what's in the Dollar Tree, dollar store packs. But that's plenty. That's like, how many plants can you get out of that? If I got half of those to grow, like, that's plenty. But yes, isn't that amazing? That seed compared to the pea seeds and the sunflower. Like, look, we got a sunflower seed and a pea seed down here, and it's just like, take a look, man. Take a look. Let it happen. Be inspired. Every one of us is a different kind. A different kind of seed, a different kind of potential, a different kind of opportunity, different life experience. Here we go, right? So cool. Let's stick these in their spots, huh? There we go. And so yeah, plant and enjoy, plant and enjoy. That's what I'm doing. I have needed to do the grow lights. I can't be successful with seeds outside of a grow light. And even then, sometimes it's suspect. And sometimes you have to replace. You have to go to the store and pay money when you did all this work to grow your seed. But most of the time, you only have to go buy one or two of the things that didn't work right, and you get a lot. I love doing my flowers. I harvest so many bouquets of flowers that I planted from a single little seed. And some of them take longer than others to get going, or you have to do them over and again, right? You got to do them until you figure out how that seed is picky. Some of them need more tender care than others, for sure. So yeah, just keeping after it. But I swear that it's the growth. It's the seeing the green in the middle of the winter. It feels like sunshine. Can sunshine feel like something when the sun is not on you? Like, that's what it feels like to me. It's like, I guess I just associate it with those sunny days, and it makes me have that feeling. There's, I think with all creative arts, whatever you're up to, whatever fine art you're up to, or not fine art, there's a repetition to it. Like the seasons. We got seasons in the garden, but we also have, when you get into gardening, there isn't an exponential amount of things that you can grow based off of your space, based off of what you like to eat, based off of what is worth producing in the space that you have. It kind of is repetitious after a while. It's the same plants and micro variations. Like inside a tomato, you can get a variety of tomato, and they are slightly different and they have different purposes. But oh, that was pretty thick. I hope those come up. I just planted that thicker than I should have. But we shall see. We shall let them go. Go for it, little planties. Let's see if it happens. Might take them a little longer. You're supposed to do it twice the size of the seed, so I did that about 3 times too thick. I was talking to you guys, but it'll work. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some flowers now. This is probably good enough. I wanted to do a video like this because all of you guys who followed me, it was Cara Grandel Gardens, and I don't feel like changing my name because I think there's a garden in me still, and then the garden of all the goodness of the creative that I'm after inside myself. And you know, I've been watching a lot of videos of older folks when they're living. They live a long time, they go forever, but they almost have to have a certain mindset, an easygoing mindset. So I want to stay alive to living as I age, and my responsibilities are, I'm retired essentially. I work for myself. I mean, I'm not really retired, I'm self-employed, but I get to do my own thing. The things that I'm choosing to do are the ones I'm choosing to do, which is a blessing. But at the same time, I've watched people get old, and they will get old in their mind, and they will get old in their choices, and they're like, nothing's new, everything's on a repeat. And that's really true. So that's actually what I'm doing here. If it's feeling like it's on repeat, then we got to slow down and notice the little pieces that bring joy and bring contentment, and like the little tiny seeds that are going to come up from here, and the dirt on my hands, you know, like that's great. That's love. Actually, when I come up to my office, the smell of wet dirt, how silly is that? It's all part of it. So until next time, I'll see you later, and we'll see you. Bye.